For years, fans were told it had to be Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers, one star rising above the other. But suddenly, the conversation has flipped. What if the real story isn't a rivalry at all? What if these two future superstars end up on the same side, forming the most dangerous backcourt women's basketball has ever seen? For years, the conversation around Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers was framed as a rivalry. Fans debated it endlessly. Analysts compared their stats, their highlights, their leadership styles, and even their personalities. Social media turned every big performance into another round of the same question: who's better? But the deeper you look into their careers, the more that narrative starts to fall apart. The truth is, the idea of Clark versus Bueckers was largely built by the media and fueled by fans online. It created drama, sparked debates, and kept people watching. But on the court, their games tell a very different story. These two players were never truly competing for the same role. In fact, they represent two completely different styles of basketball. Clark built her reputation as one of the most dynamic offensive engines the game has ever seen. During her time at Iowa, she didn't just score points, she controlled the entire pace of the game. Her deep shooting range forced defenses to stretch far beyond the three-point line, and her passing vision constantly created opportunities for teammates. She became known as a floor general, someone capable of orchestrating an offense almost like a quarterback running a playbook. Bueckers, on the other hand, developed a reputation for something slightly different. At University of Connecticut women's basketball, she showed an elite scoring instinct combined with remarkable efficiency. Her ability to read defenses, attack the mid-range, and finish plays made her one of the most polished guards in college basketball. While she can certainly facilitate, her game is often about finding the right moment to strike and create scoring opportunities. That's why many analysts argue the rivalry narrative missed the bigger picture. Clark naturally gravitates toward playmaking, setting up the offense and creating chances for others. Bueckers thrives when she can move around the floor, find openings, and attack defenses when they least expect it. They aren't mirror images of each other, they're complementary pieces. And that realization has started to shift the conversation among fans and media. Instead of asking which player is better, more people are beginning to ask a completely different question: what would happen if they played together? Because when you step back and look at their skill sets side by side, something interesting appears. Clark's passing and ability to draw defensive attention could create open looks for a scorer like Bueckers. Meanwhile, Bueckers' ability to finish plays and move without the ball could give Clark exactly the kind of teammate that elevates her playmaking even further. In other words, the rivalry narrative may have distracted everyone from the real possibility. Instead of competing for the spotlight, these two stars might actually shine brightest when sharing it. And if that happens, the conversation around women's basketball could change in a very big way. For years, fans and analysts have compared Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers as if they were destined to compete for the same spotlight. But once you break down their games, a completely different story begins to emerge. Instead of clashing styles, many basketball observers believe their skill sets might actually fit together almost perfectly. Clark's greatest strength has always been her ability to control an offense. During her historic run with the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball, she wasn't just scoring at a record-breaking pace, she was orchestrating everything on the floor. Her court vision allowed her to spot openings before defenses even realized they were there. Defenders had to guard her far beyond the three-point line because of her deep shooting range, which naturally stretched the defense and created space for everyone else. That kind of gravity is incredibly rare, and it's one of the reasons Clark has been viewed as a true floor general. Bueckers brings a different but equally dangerous skill set. At UConn Huskies women's basketball, she developed a reputation as one of the most efficient scorers in the game. Her ability to read defenses, attack gaps, and score from multiple areas of the court makes her incredibly difficult to stop. Unlike many guards who rely heavily on one scoring style, Bueckers can hurt teams in several ways. She can create her own shot off the dribble, pull up from mid-range, or cut through the defense and finish at the rim with precision. When analysts imagine these two players sharing the floor, the possibilities start to look dangerous for opposing defenses. Clark thrives when she has teammates who can move without the ball and finish plays once she creates an opening. Bueckers excels at exactly that. Her off-ball movement, patience, and timing make her the kind of player who can capitalize on the defensive attention Clark naturally draws. At the same time, Bueckers doesn't need to dominate the ball to make an impact. That's a major reason some basketball observers believe she could fit seamlessly alongside a high-usage playmaker like Clark. Instead of competing for control of the offense, Bueckers could focus on attacking scoring opportunities while Clark directs the flow of the game. Some fans have even compared the potential partnership to a classic playmaker-scorer dynamic that has defined many great backcourts in basketball history. Clark creates chaos for defenses, forcing them to constantly react. Bueckers then becomes the player who takes advantage of those moments, punishing teams for every small mistake. Of course, this idea is still mostly projection and speculation. The two stars have built their reputations leading their own teams, and playing together at the highest level always comes with adjustments. But the more analysts study their games, the clearer one thing becomes. What once looked like a rivalry might actually be the foundation for one of the most dangerous offensive pairings in women's basketball. And if that partnership ever fully comes together, it could completely change how teams try to defend them. The excitement around a potential pairing between Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers has sparked a lot of optimism among fans. Offensively, the idea of their skill sets complementing each other sounds almost unstoppable. But every time analysts discuss this potential duo, one topic keeps resurfacing again and again: the defense debate. Critics often point out that both Clark and Bueckers are primarily known for what they do on the offensive side of the ball. Clark's ability to control an entire offense and create scoring opportunities has been the centerpiece of her game for years. Bueckers, meanwhile, built her reputation as one of the most efficient and polished scoring guards in college basketball. Because of that, some observers question whether a backcourt built around two offense-first players could be vulnerable on the defensive end. It's a debate that pops up constantly in basketball discussions. When teams build lineups around elite offensive guards, people naturally wonder if opposing teams will try to exploit them defensively. In this case, the concern is whether teams would attempt to target Clark or Bueckers in isolation situations or pick-and-roll actions. However, not everyone agrees with that criticism. Many analysts argue the defensive concerns may be exaggerated. Neither Clark nor Bueckers is considered a poor defender. In fact, both players have shown solid instincts, awareness, and effort on that side of the ball throughout their careers. They may not be known primarily as lockdown defenders, but they also aren't liabilities who consistently give up easy baskets. Another important factor is the level of competition they would likely face in international play. In many global tournaments, Team USA typically has a significant talent advantage over most opponents. Because of that, opposing teams rarely have the kind of elite guard depth required to consistently attack specific defensive matchups. Even if teams attempted to target Clark or Bueckers, the surrounding roster talent often makes those strategies difficult to sustain. There's also the reality that defense in modern basketball is rarely about one player alone. It's a system built on rotations, communication, and team structure. When elite defenders and versatile forwards surround a backcourt, they can help cover potential weaknesses and allow offensive stars to focus on what they do best. Some fans even believe the defensive criticism has more to do with narrative than actual performance. Whenever two high-profile offensive stars are discussed as a potential pairing, people tend to assume defense will be the problem. It's a storyline that appears frequently in basketball debates, even when the evidence isn't particularly strong. So while the defense debate continues to appear in conversations about Clark and Bueckers, it may not be the obstacle some critics believe it is. And if their offensive chemistry develops the way many analysts expect, the real challenge for opponents might not be stopping them on defense. It might simply be trying to keep up with them on the scoreboard. The biggest question when Clark and Bueckers share the court is simple but crucial: who actually controls the offense? On paper, it sounds like a dream pairing, two elite guards with incredible scoring and playmaking ability. But the reality is far more nuanced. Both players have distinct styles, strengths, and preferences that make this backcourt combo fascinating to watch and potentially explosive. Caitlin Clark has always been known as a floor general first. Despite being one of the most prolific scorers in NCAA history, her natural instinct is to create for others. She reads defenses, anticipates movements, and finds open teammates with uncanny precision. That makes her a unique talent because she can dominate games without needing to take over every scoring opportunity. Yet Clark's style comes with a catch: she operates in bursts. One moment, she's dishing out assists and controlling tempo. The next, she's scoring 9 points in a minute. That stop-and-start rhythm can make her integration with another star guard tricky unless roles are clearly defined. Paige Bueckers, by contrast, is a more traditional scoring guard. She excels at attacking gaps, reading pick and rolls for scoring opportunities, and consistently finding ways to get her own shot. While she can distribute effectively, her primary strength is putting the ball in the basket and maintaining offensive flow. Unlike Clark, Bueckers thrives when she can dictate the tempo and initiate plays designed to maximize her scoring. So how do you reconcile these styles on the same team? The answer is likely a complementary system rather than a competition for control. Clark is expected to run the offense at the 1, orchestrating plays and creating opportunities, while Bueckers slides into roles at 2, 3, or even the 4 in small ball sets, exploiting mismatches and finishing scoring sequences. This setup allows each player to maximize her strengths while minimizing overlap and friction. The intrigue deepens when considering international play. Opposing defenses won't always be elite, but against high-level teams, decision-making under pressure becomes key. Clark's ability to find Bueckers in the right spots could make this duo nearly unstoppable. On the flip side, if spacing or rotations aren't managed well, Bueckers may need to adjust her natural scoring rhythm to fit Clark's facilitation style. Ultimately, the question isn't about who can control the offense, it's about how their styles mesh. When chemistry clicks, Clark's vision and Bueckers' scoring instinct could redefine what a backcourt duo looks like, forcing opponents to constantly adapt. But if roles aren't clearly defined, even this dream pairing could experience friction that limits effectiveness. The next games will be telling, and fans are watching closely. Will this backcourt be a harmonious powerhouse or a fascinating experiment in offensive dynamics? When Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers share the court, the impact isn't limited to just their own stats. It ripples across every other guard on the roster. Suddenly, roles shift, opportunities shrink, and minutes have to be managed carefully. Star guards who once ran the offense or carried scoring loads may find themselves in a supporting position, adjusting to a duo designed to dominate backcourt dynamics. For instance, guards like Kelsey Plum or Chelsea Gray might see their traditional responsibilities diluted. Clark's court vision demands attention from opposing defenses, while Bueckers' scoring instincts pull defenders away in multiple directions. That combination forces other perimeter players to adapt quickly or risk being left on the bench during critical possessions. Even players who excel defensively could see their offensive touches drop, simply because Clark and Bueckers create so many high-value opportunities when paired. The ripple effect also changes how coaches structure lineups. Suddenly, rotations aren't just about balancing talent, they're about timing, spacing, and chemistry. A guard who thrives with the ball in her hands may need to adjust to off-ball movement, learning to read and react to Clark's passes or Bueckers' scoring cuts. That shift isn't just technical, it's psychological. Star guards who are used to being focal points must suppress ego and trust that this pairing elevates the team, even if their own numbers dip. And defensively, the dynamics shift as well. Clark and Bueckers may not be the most dominant on-ball defenders individually, but their offensive gravity forces opponents to overcommit or rotate prematurely. That can either mask deficiencies in other guards or expose them if rotations aren't tight. Suddenly, every misstep or missed assignment is amplified because the duo sets such a high standard for pace and execution. This combination also sparks speculation among fans and analysts. Will other star guards see reduced usage in clutch moments? Will their confidence suffer, or will they rise to complement the duo? Reports suggest that coaches are already experimenting with staggered rotations to maximize offensive efficiency while maintaining defensive balance. It's a delicate puzzle, and the wrong decision could disrupt chemistry. Ultimately, the presence of Clark and Bueckers forces every guard to rethink their approach. It's no longer just about individual stats. It's about fitting into a system where two elite talents define the backcourt. Those who adapt could see career-defining growth, while those who resist may find themselves struggling for relevance. The ripple effect is real, and its consequences will shape not just the current season, but the future trajectory of every guard sharing the floor with this formidable duo. The future of Team USA's backcourt is about to be completely redefined. With Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers emerging as the cornerstone guards, the dynamic shifts from traditional roles to a dual-threat setup that could dominate international basketball for years. Clark's ability to control the pace and orchestrate plays pairs perfectly with Bueckers' scoring versatility, creating a backcourt that keeps opponents guessing on every possession. This isn't just about talent, it's about timing and evolution. Coaches are now thinking several moves ahead, building rotations around these two elite athletes. Clark's floor general instincts mean she will often dictate tempo, probing defenses and creating high-value opportunities. Meanwhile, Bueckers can exploit the gaps Clark opens, driving or pulling up for mid-range or deep shots with near-perfect efficiency. This combination of vision and execution forces other guards to adapt, and only those who can adjust will thrive in the new system. The implications go beyond offense. Defensively, Clark and Bueckers may not be the most imposing on-ball defenders individually, but their offensive gravity changes how opponents allocate resources. Defenders are pulled toward the ball, rotated out of position, or forced into tough decisions, effectively turning the backcourt into both an offensive and strategic weapon. It's a subtle form of dominance that few other combinations can match. Looking forward, the developmental trajectory of this duo is critical. Clark is still fine-tuning her fit within a team of elite players, learning when to take risks and when to defer. Bueckers, on the other hand, already thrives as a Swiss Army knife, capable of playing multiple positions and adjusting to different matchups seamlessly. Together, they can set a blueprint for future Team USA guards, showing how elite scoring and elite playmaking can coexist without friction. The next 3 to 5 years could be transformative. This backcourt may define a new era of offensive efficiency for Team USA, forcing rival nations to rethink defensive strategies entirely. Younger players watching will see a standard of excellence that combines speed, skill, and adaptability. Fans will witness a new style of guard play, one that blends creativity, precision, and versatility at every turn. Ultimately, the future of Team USA's backcourt hinges on balance. If Clark and Bueckers can mesh their skills while supporting other emerging talents, the team could become virtually unstoppable. But if rotations, chemistry, or ego clashes disrupt the rhythm, even this star-studded lineup could struggle. For now, one thing is clear: the backcourt is evolving, and the basketball world is watching every move with bated breath. Could Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers become the most dangerous guard duo in women's basketball? On paper, it already looks unstoppable. Clark's vision and playmaking meet Bueckers' scoring versatility, and the result is a combination that keeps defenses off balance at every turn. What makes this pairing unique isn't just talent, it's how their styles complement each other. Clark is a floor general, orchestrating the offense and creating opportunities for teammates. Bueckers is a natural scorer, thriving in every role she's asked to play, whether it's slashing, shooting, or attacking the closeout. This duo can stretch defenses like almost no one else. Clark's ability to control tempo forces defenders into tough decisions, while Bueckers can exploit the smallest openings, hitting mid-range jumpers or finishing at the rim. The pressure on opponents is constant. You can't just double one and ignore the other. One mistake and the other punishes it instantly. Rumors suggest rival teams are already scrambling to figure out how to slow them down, but no answer seems perfect yet. Defense might be their only potential question mark. Individually, neither is a lockdown defender, but both are smart, disciplined, and strong enough to make it difficult for opponents to exploit them consistently. Bueckers uses her physicality and anticipation to guard the ball, while Clark provides excellent help defense and court awareness. Together, they can hide weaknesses and amplify strengths, making their backcourt dangerous on both ends of the floor. Versatility is another key factor. Bueckers can play multiple positions, adapting to the flow of the game, while Clark's pure point guard instincts ensure the offense always has a floor general at the helm. This flexibility allows the coaching staff to create unpredictable lineups, exploiting mismatches against nearly any opponent. Fans are already speculating about what this could mean for Team USA's future tournaments, imagining a backcourt capable of dominating top international defenses. And here's the kicker: chemistry. So much of basketball success comes from timing and trust. Clark finding Bueckers in the right spots and vice versa creates a rhythm that no single star can replicate alone. Some analysts even claim this could be the blueprint for the next generation of elite guard duos. Ultimately, if they continue to mesh their skills, balance aggression with patience, and keep improving together, Clark and Bueckers could redefine guard play in women's basketball. Every possession becomes a potential highlight, every matchup a challenge for opponents. The question isn't if they're talented, it's whether anyone can stop them when they're firing on all cylinders. Clark and Bueckers aren't just stars, they're a revolutionary backcourt. Their skills, chemistry, and versatility could redefine women's basketball. Opponents will struggle to keep up, and every game becomes unpredictable. The question isn't whether they're dominant, it's whether anyone can stop this new era of elite guard play.